Hi, I'm Sharon, and I'm here with my old friend Meryam Zislovich. And I would like to mention that you live in Israel now, although you used to live here in the Bay Area in California.
Rabbi.
But you are you're back for a visit, and that you're a rabbi, yes. And so tell me about the book, because the book, you are in the process of going toward publishing it.
Right.
And have you basically written the whole thing, do you feel?
Yes.
Yes. And you also illustrated it.
Right.
And what's the name of your book?
Seasons of Our Soul in English. In Hebrew I call it Yalchei HaNeshama.
Similar, is that what that means? It's in
It's the
translation.
same.
So what, basically, what is your book about?
It's in the field of the Kabbalah of time. It teaches the wisdom of the Hebrew year, of the Hebrew Jewish calendar, Hebrew calendar, month by month. It looks at each month from a number of different prisms. Name, the permutation of the name, the Torah portion in it, the astrological, the zodiac, astrological influences, of course, its place in the season. Books on the Kabbalah of time on the Jewish calendar has been written before. There is the
Mostly by men, I would think.
right.
Yeah.
There is the Arch book, which is patriarchal. It's called Bnei Yisachar, the sons of Yisachar, and then contemporary two books that I know of are written by women, friends of mine. One is called Kabbalah Month by Month. The other one is the 12 Dimensions of Israel, which goes into comparing the months with the tribes, which I don't do. But not one of the books I read, and I read really all I could, sees all these books deal with the month as an island. And I had personal Kabbalah illumination.
Like a vision.
Like a knowing that kind of arose in me of looking at the year as a 12-step process of on the like a ring in a spiraling path.
In space?
Spiraling.
Spiral in space?
In time.
In time.
Spiraling a path on our journey of soul manifestation. The premise of the book is that in the beginning of the year, which starts, the soul journey starts in Tishrei, in the fall, and a cycle of fall-winter. In the beginning of the year, there's a spark of inspiration that either arises within our soul, for we came with those particular sparks of inspiration already planted within our soul, as if our soul is a pod of
interesting.
Right?
Yes.
Or that it kind of, it's chosen for us and it's done, it's being, it doesn't so much matter, because whether it comes from without or it comes from within, it's one of the same, it's circular.
So when you say that people have this, are you talking about all human beings?
Yeah, I think we all come with directives that our soul come here already with missions, that we have soul missions, and our journey on the earth is a journey of soul actualization, of manifesting, bringing those sparks of inspiration into manifestation.
And do you think that happens with people who know about it, or people that, and also people that have not a clue that they're on that kind of soul journey?
Yeah, I think it happens whether we know it or not. And it's possible that artists are more in touch with, more aware that this is what is happening.
I was surprised when I saw the manuscript at how many incredible paintings that you have done are in it. Because I knew you, but I didn't know you were a painter. I don't know if you have them printed out in there, but do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Just maybe show the viewer one.
That's the this month's mandala. I call it a mandala because all of my paintings start from a circle. Then they spill out of the circle, but the circle starts each and every one of them. Let's see if we get to see another one. Where's the one that you chose? It's way too dark. You know,
it's beautiful though.
But 69.
I think it's.
That's a powerful one. Av, the month of Av.
And what is
so
Av
I started
in the Western calendar?
The next month. We're in July. It's August.
Yeah. Okay. And in Hebrew calendar, it's not exactly. There's 13 months, right?
Well, no. The 13th month is thrown in. The 13th moon is thrown in.
Like every so often?
In a certain pattern.
That's interesting.
Not equal
it's
years.
Not every year?
But no, there is a cycle of 22 years, and within that cycle, it's like every third year, and then the fourth, and then the second. I haven't memorized it. It's yeah. Oh, this is for the month of September, that we call Elul, the month of Elul.
Yeah. Thank you. That's okay. Maybe the thing is to read if you have some choice of something that you'd like to read.
Well, I thought I'd read about this month.
Okay.
But, I mean, Tammuz means heating up. Tammuz is the name of the month we're in, the month of July, which is my birth month. I was born on the 4th of July.
Happy birthday.
Tammuz means heating up. The sun beats on strongly. The air is boiling, steaming hot. The fruit on the trees is reaching full ripeness. And we too feel as though in a pressure cooker. In Israel. Not in Berkeley, but in Israel. We must stay cool and collected in the way we conduct ourselves in the cauldron of the world. We must watch the waves of frustration and rage that are likely to swell up within and around us and dam up short-tempered, fiery outbursts. At the peak of ripening, the tree puts all the vitality it can master into the fruit. A big gushing wave of energy surges through its limbs before subsiding and gradually turning toward inwards as it starts moving into a dormant period, which will happen only 2 months later. This is the swan now. Tammuz is the swan dance of the tree in the performance of its yearly cycle. When the fruit is fully ripe, it's either picked and eaten or drops down and returns to soil. In the ancient Middle Eastern mythologies, Tammuz, also known as Damuzi, was the consort of the earth goddess of fertility. Their love was associated with the bloom of the spring. And now, on this month, their lovemaking the year is fulfilled. And the Muzi is now offered as a sacrifice to the goddess. He's returned to the earth to be fully consumed by her. As his body was laid in the bosom of his beloved, the women mourned him with wailing lamentations, believing that their grief will move all the powers at work to ensure the Muzi's rebirth, which is the renewed productivity of the earth. Tammuz is a mournful month of termination and devastation in the Hebrew story as well. The 17th day, the destruction of the temple takes place actually in Av, but the walls of Jerusalem are breached in both the Babylonian era and the Roman era in Tammuz. So I'll skip and go to just one other little thing.
Okay.
So this is a time of that tests our ability to stay level-headed and the energy is of the water element identified with our emotions ruled by the gravitational power of the moon. Under the initiatory sign of Cancer, the energy of this month is exemplified by moving water, like waterfalls, rivers, and steam, symbolizing the power of our emotions to initiate processes of transformation in our nefesh, in our psyche, and in the world. This month is identified with strong emotional drive that can break down old walls, cut through barriers, and carve new channels of expression for the flow of our life force.
Beautiful.
The sense of this month, last but not least, is active seeing. Not merely the, well, I gotta read something else, just. Cancer, the astrological sign of Tammuz, is characterized by the crab that now, as we flock to the sea, can be seen on the beaches of Israel, zigzagging with quick, tiny steps on its 8 crusted legs across the sand, carrying its home, a thin armor of shell around its soft, fragile body, popping in and out of the sand. One moment seen, the next gone. These creatures are like toddlers who have just started to walk and are exploring the world around them, touching everything, going into every cubbyhole they can fit through, running out any open door, requiring a watchful eye, lest they get lost. Also, the crabs carry their home around to protect their tender flesh, alludes them to children who need the protection of home and a fence around them. Since toddlers are sensitive, helpless, and not yet talking, they're quick to fuss, throw tantrum, and act up. This kind of behavior has come to be known as crabby, to be described as crabby. The sign of Cancer is associated with the flux of moods, with home, mother and child, family, tribe, tradition, protection, nurturing, and cultivation.
I have a little more time for the reading, just
Okay.
maybe a minute.
Okay. The moon, ruler of this month, holds a central role in the fertility ways of nature and is likened to a mother. The moon is our cosmic mother. The bosom, okay, the emblem of the month is that of a woman nursing a baby. The bosom, the body part of Tammuz, the hazeh, in Hebrew it's hazeh, it shares root letters with the Hebrew words for watching, lahazot, and foresight, hazon, and contract. You see what the Hebrew does, which most other languages don't. It is built, all words stem out from 3 to 4 root letters. And from any 3 root letters, families of concepts spring out into being. And they point out to the fact that there is a root connection between them. So we have Shmi'ah, Shin Mem Ayin, are 3 root letters that Shmi'ah, Mishma'at, and Mashma'ut stem out of. Now, in English, it means hearing, discipline, and meaning. And you wouldn't necessarily put those 3 concepts together. But Hebrew tells you that hearing is not enough unless you adhere. Only then it's meaningful. You know, just hearing, don't take the cigarette into your mouth. Unless you adhere to it, it's the fact that you heard
Yes.
the inner voice that says don't do it is meaningless, right?
It's so interesting, hear and adhere.
Here and not here, yeah.
Yeah.
I point out
That's
to
very
that.
interesting.
Yeah, that
That's
does
so-
happen in the English, but it's not
It's not usually something.
it's not
you
a
do the
usual thing, and
links.
it's not consistent. Yeah,
I
right.
think we need to just ask a few more questions. And,
Sure.
and close it. So it's very interesting to me that you're doing this, and I think it's an important work, and I'd like to know how you plan to get it published. Do you know?
No, I actually don't. I have a whole list of publishing houses that I'm going to approach,
Okay.
and I see what comes back. And if it proves to be more expensive than publishing it myself, and if I have to do a lot of the spreading the word
Right.
around because those publishers want or don't, then I'll self-publish.
Okay.
But it's not my true desire.
I understand.
It's
I think we have to wrap it up.
Okay.
So thank you, Meryam Zislovich, rabbi and mystic and amazing person.
thank you.
You're welcome.
In the next Marinations segment, we bring you two performances by two poets who performed in July at Stay Amazed, a poetry celebration in Berkeley produced by Susan Felix in association with Poetry Flash.
Our next reader is Sharon Skolnick-Bagnoli, and her words and pictures have marked her winding journey and lit up her surroundings for years. A painter and writer, book designer and editor, she spent over 7 years foster parenting for Marin County, over 14 years working, playing, praying with the American Indian movement, and over 20 years producing and hosting non-commercial radio and TV. And a while back, she was even on the staff of the Berkeley Bar. Her published books include Dreams of Tamalpais, which is a collection of nonfiction, Shiny Objects, collected poetry and art, and a debut novel, Colored Edges.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I want to say that I'm aware of your sacred Berkeleyness, and I honor it. And I have a poem for Susan. I would like to dedicate my reading tonight to two men who are muses for me in my life and have been for many, many, many decades. Bob Fass and Dennis Banks, each of whom is not well right now, and I ask for prayers for their healing. They're not done yet. You're not done yet, you guys. This is for Susan. A sweetness. When I see you, you have a simple sweetness, not bought in town or rubbed in at a spa. You are generations of sweet bubbies, yet young at once. You bring Berkeley to Marin, where they kiss nature to politics. You lend me your very back for a rocking chair. You are the clay you knead and bake for soul food.
So would you like to give us a little introduction to your evening?
My evening looms before me in a miasma of unknown possibilities. It could be large and expanded, get into cosmic or universal, or if not that, at least national ideas. Or it could compress and become very small. It could be the size of a tortoise eating a tomato.
How big is a tortoise eating a tomato?
As big as you think it is, as big as it can be, or as small as it starts out to be. If a tortoise eating a tomato thinks of itself as a little baby tortoise, then it's probably only this big. But if it thinks of itself as an adult tortoise facing the world, it could be even bigger than it really is.
Wow, sounds like Turtle Island.
A lot of it has to, Turtle Island is the continent, but it depends on how big you can go with a tomato. I mean, that is your reality. That's grounding. My evening could be as focused as sharp as a tack grandmother, or as diffuse as a marijuana-soaked teenager. I don't know yet.